Hey everybody, welcome to class. If you're new here, nice to have you. If you are returning, good to see you again. Today's practice is a yoga flow to open the front body, heart openers, aka backbends. It will be a short and sweet practice just to get the fires burning, the blood pumping, that oxygen flowing, and to make you feel good all over. If you usually use props like blocks, then maybe grab them, and we will start standing at the front of the mat. Bringing the big toes together, heels slightly apart, hips are stacked over the knees, shoulders come up and down, palms facing forward with the chin parallel to the earth. Your core is engaged. Maybe close the eyes, just take a moment to settle, to breathe, to acknowledge the time that you have carved out today to come to your mat. There's no yoga class that we ever regret except the one we don't do. Bringing the awareness to the soles of the feet, that big toe mound, the little toe, and the center of the heel. Acknowledging the connection with the earth, knowing the earth is always there for us, no matter how ungrounded we feel. And always bring the mind to the part of the body that's in connection with the earth and connect with it. One more breath or so here. When you're ready, slowly open the eyes. Bringing the palms to the chest. On an inhale, palms up to the sky, full body stretch. Exhale down. Again, inhale, lift palms to the sky, stretching from the toes to the fingertips, and arms sweep down the sides of the body. One more, inhale, lift. Exhale, sweeping down. Inhale, palms come up. Exhale, folding from the waist, engage in the front spine, coming forward over the legs. Allowing the fingertips to come to the earth, bending one knee and then the other, getting into the backs of the legs. Maybe letting the head go. Bringing the right hand directly underneath the chest, bending the right knee and inhaling the left arm up to the sky into a twist. Pulling that left hip back, elongating the spine, crown going to the front of the mat. Then exhale down, other side, left hand underneath the chest, bending the left leg. Inhale, right arm to the sky, pull the right hip back, lengthen the spine. Imagine the crown is pushing into the space in front of the mat. Exhale down. Inhale, engage the front spine, maybe a little micro bend in the knees, come all the way back up to standing. Palms to chest. Inhale, palms lift to the sky. Exhale, forward fold from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift out of the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to a plank. Rolling forward so the shoulders are slightly in front of the wrists. Engage in the front spine, then lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale into a little cobra. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Breathe in here, grounding into the base of the knuckles. Upper back is wide, sit bones to the sky. Maybe pedaling out the feet a little bit. Allowing the heels to settle, looking forward, bending the knees, emptying the lungs, and either step or jump forward, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold, inhale all the way back up, palms to chest. Again, inhale, palms lift, exhale, forward fold, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back And then the right, coming into this plank, engaging the whole of the front body. Then lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale to a cobra. Exhale, seat to heels. Downward facing dog. Breathing here. Ears between the biceps. Grounding into the hands. Emptying the lungs, bending the knees. You would jump or step to the front. Halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale all the way up to standing, palms to chest. Inhale, palms come up to the sky. Grab the right wrist with the left fingertips. Bring the right foot behind the left and lean over into this side bend. Stretching out the whole of the right side of the body. Back to the midline, over to the other side. Inhale up, leaning over, maybe circling the left wrist with the right fingers. Breathing into the stretch. Inhale back to center. Inhale, palms come up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back, plank or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Over the toes, downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. Rock forward to plank. Lower the right knee to the mat. Lift the left leg straight behind. Engage the core. Right arm straight in front. Spinal balance. Few breaths here. Return everything down. Come back up. Downward facing dog. Take a breath. Rock forward to plank. Left knee descends, right leg lifts. Spinal balance other way. Lengthening the spine, engaging the core, pulling out of each of these limbs. Everything comes down, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Bend the knees, empty the lungs. Step or jump forward. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Palms to chest. Inhale, palms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Rock forward to plank, right knee lowers, left leg lifts, right arm comes out, spinal balance, bend the back leg, reach around, grab the foot, tiger pose. Breathe in here, opening that shoulder, release back into spinal balance, everything comes down, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Take a free breath. Rock forward to plank. Left knee comes down, right leg lifts, spinal balance. Bend the right knee, reach back, tiger. Opening that left shoulder. Back to spinal balance. Everything comes down, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, empty the lungs, and step or jump forward, forward fold. Inhale all the way back up, palms to chest. Inhale, palms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, right foot steps up. Destination, warrior two. Coming all the way up. Bending into this front knee. Hips are parallel with the earth. Body stacked over the hips. Arms to a T. Shoulders relaxed. And breathe. Flip the front palm, inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, come back up, elbow to knee. Sweep the top arm down, up and around, modified side angle. Opening this chest to the side, reaching out of the waist. Maybe the little finger rotated to the earth. Inhale, come back up, reverse the warrior. Cartwheel down, Vinyasa. Take a breath in, dog. Side B, left leg to sky. Destination, warrior two. Get your alignment. Bending into this front knee, stacking the body, stacking the arms, breathing deep. Maybe lifting the toes to get a greater connection with the soles of the feet, and then release the toes down. Flip the front palm, inhale, reverse warrior. Come forward, modified side angle, top arm sweeps down, up and around. Little finger towards the earth, reaching out of the waist, lengthening the spine. Maybe looking at the hand, maybe not. Inhale, back to reverse warrior. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, Vinyasa. Take a breath. And begin. Inhale, right leg to sky. Exhale, warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Come forward. Side angle, modified or full version. If it's not too early for you, maybe take a bind. If you have the bind, release. Warrior two, reverse. Cartwheel down, top hand comes down, move into low lunge twist. Hand comes down, step back, Vinyasa. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse. Side angle, modified or full. If it's in your body, the bind. Back to side angle. Warrior two. Reverse. Low lunge twist. Vinyasa. Right leg lifts. Warrior two. Reverse. Side angle, maybe with the bind. Look down, release. Half moon. Top arm to the sky. Bending the top leg, maybe Chapasana. And this time think of Chapasana as a back bend rather than a quad stretch. Put your awareness into the spine, into the chest, the upper back, and breathe. Release. Gently back to warrior two. Cartwheel the top hand down, low lunge twist. Plant into the bottom hand, step back into a side plank. Top leg lifts, bend the top leg and reach back for a version of Chapasana from a side plank. Release the top leg and the top hand, come down behind into a wild thing. Back to side plank, hand comes down, Vinyasa. Left leg lifts, warrior two. Reverse. Side angle maybe with the bind. Lengthen in the spine. Open in the shoulders. Then release. Destination half moon. Back leg straight. Stack in the hips. Bending the top leg. Ardha Chandrasa Chapasana. Focusing on it as a back bend. Open in the heart rather than a quad stretch. Releasing the top leg. Releasing the pose with grace, warrior two. Top arm, back arm, sorry, comes down into this low lunge. Ground into the bottom hand, step back, side plank. Lift the top leg, reach back, grab the top foot. Focus on one spot, helps a lot. Release the top leg, come into wild thing. Back to side plank. Hand comes down, Vinyasa. Bring the knees down as wide as the mat, seat to heels, child's pose. Breath or so here. Reconnect, recalibrate. Come up, sit on the heels. We'll move into Ustrasana, camel pose. A variation. Coming onto the knees. If you need to, you can always pad the knees up here. I'm on 3 mats, so I'm kind of okay. We'll tuck the toes and bring the heels higher. Bring the left hand to the left hip. Inhale, right arm to the sky. For this first time, we will reach out of the waist and lean back, keeping this arm lifted. Breathe in here, throat to the sky. And then come back, second side. Right hand to hip, left arm lengthens up to the sky. Lengthen the waist, lifting out of the waist, and start to lean back. Come back up, hands come to the waist, sit down, come off the knees for a bit. From here, keeping the right hand on the hip, left arm comes behind. On an inhale, we sweep up and around and back. Then reversing and coming down. Other side, coming up and around and back. Reversing and coming down. And then you can start to do this with more movement. Maybe sweeping the left arm across the front body, back down as you come around. So this is like a dynamic half camel. Just getting used to this movement in the body. A few more of these. And come to settle. And we'll come back up to camel and do twisted camel. This is more difficult than it seems. We've done quite a bit of warming up there with the spine in a camel posture. Left hand comes to left hip, right arm to the sky. Lean back, and the right hand is going to come to the left heel, and the left arm comes up. This can be quite challenging. Don't do it if it feels bad. Remembering to breathe. Then coming up out, and we sit down, recalibrate. This time right hand to right hip. Inhale, come up onto the knees. Left arm comes up to the sky, lengthening, reaching round, grabbing the right heel. Right arm comes up. Feels pretty different to regular camel. And then come back up, come back down, don't fold forward. Just sit for a moment on the hips. Reconnecting with the breath. Maybe you're feeling a lot of energy in this heart space. And we'll finish with a regular camel, Uttanasana. Coming up to the knees. You can have the toes tucked or feet flat, whatever is in your body. Hands to the hips, lengthening out the spine. Imagine this cord is pulling you up. And then reaching back for the heels. Lengthening the lower back. Chest to the sky. And breathe. I don't actually like letting my head go back all the way anymore. Imagine someone is pressing a fist into the space between the shoulder blades, really lifting your chest. Then engage in the core, coming all the way up, head last. Seat comes down to the heels. Oh, there's a toucan in the tree. Sorry, I get excited still every time I see one. And breathe here. Maybe releasing the palms onto the lap, facing upwards, indicating that you're open to receive. And without doing a counter pose, because we are going to move to the floor and do another back bend, make your way down onto the earth. Pause for a moment, constructive rest, hands to the belly. And if it's in your practice, we'll move to wheel pose, bringing the feet underneath the knees. You can always do bridge here as well. If you're coming with me into wheel, Arms lift up to the sky, bending the elbows and bringing the hands, palms down with the fingertips facing towards the shoulders. Grounding into the feet, engaging the front spine. Lifting the hips. First step is coming onto the crown of the head. This is where I always regret my hair choice. And then from here, pressing down and lifted up into a wheel. Imagining that your tailbone is going towards the heels, lengthening out the lower back. Arms are as straight as can be. Chest is pressing into an imaginary wall. And breathe. It's quite hard to talk in this position, so I'll be quiet. When you're ready to come down, slowly bend the elbows. Bring the shoulders down. And then roll out the spine, one vertebra at a time. Feet come as wide as the mat. Release the wrists, encircle them, maybe windscreen, wipe the legs. Resist the urge to pull them into the chest. Let's allow the descend in the spine to just regain their shape naturally rather than being forced the other way. Start to settle. And then now maybe bring the knees in one by one, circling around the shins. We'll just bring the nervous system down a bit after that back bend. Gently roll up to seat. Legs extended in front. Tall spine. Tipping gently from the hip joint. Coming forward and allowing the body to relax. This is more of a yin style forward fold than a yang one. Allowing the body to curl. We call this caterpillar pose. Maybe you can support the head with the fists. Just bringing that nervous system down after the exhilaration of the back bend. Entering the rest and digest phase. That part of the autonomic nervous system. The parasympathetic. On an inhale, slowly roll up. And make your way back down onto the back. Knees coming into chest. Bring the arms to cactus. Knees stacked in tabletop. Release over to the left side. Lift the head off the earth. Twist it mid-air. Look over that right shoulder. Back to the midline. Knees come over to the right. Lift the head. Twist mid-air. Look over that left shoulder. Surrender here. Feels so good. Knees back to the midline. Maybe another little squeeze. If your body is craving any kind of movement, now is the time to do it. And then when you're ready, slowly release out into Savasana. palms to the sky. Relaxing every muscle in the body. Taking a breath or so more here in Savasana. Enjoying just doing nothing for once. We spend so much time rushing around being busy, glamorizing being busy. Our bodies actually really struggle to just do nothing. Our minds struggle as well. As we live in this hustling world, but it's okay to do nothing. Sometimes you need to do nothing. Maybe start to wiggle the fingers and toes, stretching out the body. Any way that feels good for you. Oh, always feels good to juice up that spine. Bring yourself out. And one by one, bring the knees into the chest. Then roll over onto your favorite side. Pause for a moment. Then gradually make your way up. Keeping the eyes closed. Come into a comfortable seat. Maybe palms down again on the knees. Bring the palms into the chest. Thumbs touching the sternum, the heart space. And I thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you feel equally exhilarated and calm, if that is possible. Bring the palms up to the third eye, to the lips, back to the heart. And I'll close class by saying thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Thank you for practicing with me, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a good day.